Slanja, y'all. Welcome to another Tuesday night of Scotch on the Bayou. And it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Got my vintage aluminum tree over here in the studio. And I've been virtually shopping and coming up with a list of goodies for folks, whether you be on the naughty or the nice list for the holidays. So I'm excited to show everybody a little bit of a sneak peek of my gift guide for whiskey enthusiasts that will come out tomorrow. So we're going to go through a couple of things. And I want to hear from you all about what's on your wish list for sure. Let's see who all is in. Hey, Daniel, it's great to see. Anytime you can pop in forever, how long is awesome. Thanks, friend. I appreciate you doing that. We're finally going to get a cold front. Won't be as cold as up there, but we are hopefully going to be out of the 70s pretty soon. Jen's got her dram poured. You're gonna have to tell me what everybody's drinking. Mine's actually almost matching my shirt here. It's so dark, so you can kind of maybe guess on that. Great to see you, Jennifer. Can't wait to see you again. I get to see her in like 4 weeks, I think. Yeah, almost 4 weeks. I can't wait. We're gonna have so much fun. So she's revisiting the Ardbeg Ardcore, that tasty committee release. I know I haven't opened mine yet. I need to do that. Hey, Andrew, I got some good news for you, and I will send you a message because a date has been chosen, friend. Andrew was sweet enough to send a blind challenge, and the planets have aligned, Andrew. So look out tomorrow. I promise. I'll send you that email, and that way we can talk more about it later. But I'm glad. Thanks for being up very late to come and join us tonight for sure. Thanks so much. Hey, Trooper, good to see you. Brown liquor specialists. I like that. That sounds like fancy. Like I need to put that on a business card or something. Hey, Loch Ness. Happy Tuesday to you too. You have to let me know what y'all are drinking. I've got I have Christmas in a glass. So, and I've reviewed this lately, and I think this is what I'm going to put in my fruit cake. I've talked about my fruit cake before. It's fruit cake that you actually want to eat. Um, and I've used Glendronach 12 before, but I think I'm going to use this. And tonight, I have so much stuff on my desk, y'all. Tonight I've got Glenallachie 15 is what I'm going to be drinking. It's 46%, and it is just gorgeous. It is so pretty. Christmas in the glass. All those spices. And just a really, it's not a super, super sweet sherry, but you do get that tannin, little dryness on the end for sure. Goodness. Yeah, it is already. Andrew's already in Wednesday, even though it's Tuesday. Hey, Mike, good to see you again. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I have I've been working on this video for a while. And it's 19 minutes or so long, but I wanted to have kind of an in-depth idea and give people ideas about what to give someone who is a whiskey lover or whiskey enthusiast, a gift that maybe not just be a bottle. I think tonight I'd like to talk about what kind of bottles we might gift somebody. But for the most part, I wanted to kind of step you through the different categories of what I picked. And then I'm going to do a sneak peek and let you know about one of those items per category. So we'll talk a little bit more about that now. And just looking at the chat, I was just saying, if anybody needed a vacation, it's Trooper. And I'm so glad that you're getting to go to your camp pretty soon and just take a load off, bud, and kick your feet up, enjoy your time. Goodness. You work so hard. Guy travels everywhere. believe me. Um, where did I saw him? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where's that other Mark? It's Mark JG in the house. There he is. I saw that. Hey, friend. Glad you're here. You have to tell me what you're drinking. And also saw Carlos. Hey, great to see you again. Appreciate you being here. So before we get into the gift guide, I wanted to give a big shout out and update on last Thursday. So I made the final four round of this SMWS Scotch Malt Whiskey Society America's Malt Madness blind competition. And I was up against a heavyweight of a palate, and that would be Jason C. from the Mash and Drum. And we were pretty much neck and neck. He did have a couple of extra bonus points for the tiebreaker. So even if we tied, I probably would have lost. But it was very, very close. And if you haven't watched that episode, check it out on YouTube. It was so much fun, y'all. We were over an hour. Scott ran us through 4 drams. They were absolutely stunning drams. But the last one, I don't want to spoil it for you, but the last one, Jason and I nailed. When I tell you we nailed it, we knew we not only, I think I got the ABV and maybe he got the year. We both nailed the maturation. We both nailed the region. And we both nailed the distillery, which is amazing for SMWS because if I hurt myself patting myself on the back, but to be able to pick a distillery out of that. But it is one of my fangirl distilleries that I absolutely adore. So if I couldn't pick that one, I'm like out of luck, if you know what I mean. It was so much fun. And so Jason won. And he is going up against Dan from Bourbon Junkies this Thursday, I believe. So check him out. Also to plug something for Jason, he's having Nancy Fraley on his show tomorrow night. So if you just Wednesday night, 9 Central, is that 10? I guess 10 Eastern. I have to think about when it comes on in my time. But yeah, Nancy Fraley she's an absolutely freaking genius on putting some whiskeys together. Big fan of what she's done at Still Austin, among the many places she has done things. But yeah, check that out. And I'm rooting for Jason because it's documented in that video as well as it's documented right here now that if he wins, he's buying me a bottle with that gift certificate, and I will hunt him down and make sure he does it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I really do appreciate Scott asking me to be part of that in the SMWS America, and can't say enough about it. It was a great experience. What it taught me was I need to do more blinds. So that's actually gonna be something more we're gonna do in the new year. And I need to trust my gut because there were a couple of times that I changed what I initially felt I was tasting or smelling, and I didn't go with my gut. I kind of talked myself out of it. You need to go with your gut. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. And so check that out if you haven't had time. But I'm gonna take a sip here and see who else is in tonight. Loch Ness is having a dryish week. You know, those are important. Just small wee beastie, that's lovely. But, you know, we do have to take care of ourselves and our livers. So that's really important. It truly is. So Trooper's like, oh, you had some of the Glenallachie 15. It is really tasty. I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, Christmas in a glass for sure. Yeah, I think let's see. Mike might open that one and then finish the Deanston 12 you're sipping. That's just such a good dram, isn't it? I think that would be a good bottle to give somebody for Christmas is a Deanston 12, especially someone who's just kind of getting into it. It's got a great ABV with 46%. It's not chill filtered. It's a good bourbon matured. I'm trying to remember if that one had any sherry in it. I can't really remember. Maybe just a scooch, but not much, if at all. Um, yeah. So Jennifer, yes. I'm sorry you didn't get to see it, but yeah, it is worth the replay because Jason and I have a lot of banter back and forth, which is a lot of fun. And I think we cracked Scott up a couple times, and he's like he's trying to be the straight guy, straight man, and no, we had him, and we we got after him every once in a while. Hey, Stacey, it's good to see you. Four Leaf Whiskey, check her out. She's her channel is growing like crazy, and if ever you have a question about Irish, she's your person. She definitely knows about that. So yeah, gift giving. It is the time to better give than receive, although receiving graciously does have its place. And I wanted to put together something for people that might not be in whiskey to figure out what to give somebody who is in whiskey. So it's kind of angled that way for someone who may not know how to go in and buy a bottle for their whiskey person. They might not know what they have or what they like, but they may know they like whiskey, and it's whiskey with an E or no E. It pretty much all of these things apply across the board of all brown liquor, not just Scotch. So that I really enjoyed working on. And most of these things I either have or I've used because I didn't want to recommend anything that was just out there. So the first category is artwork. And I think, thinking of whiskey itself, it's like a work of art. There's a whole lot that goes into it, but there's the finesse and the artistic creativeness of the distiller and the blender and all of these things that put that whiskey together the way we want to drink it. And I was at our local farmers market, and let's see, it's the first Saturday of each month. The arts market is down there too. So you can go and get your veggies at the farmers market and then peruse handmade items. And I went down there one year. I guess I've had this a couple of years. This is pre-pandemic. And I saw this and I was just made a beeline over to the guy's booth. And this is painting, just a different type of painting by oh shoot, let me think. Jay Allman, yeah. And he's a New Orleans artist. And I absolutely adore this little painting of a Glencairn and a whiskey. Can you see how like it's 3D, like it's offset? And this is a cypress frame, and so that's a whole Louisiana kind of thing. And he meant it to be bourbon. It could be bourbon. It could pretty much be this too. It could be Glenallachie 15. Oh man, that's so good. But I love this, and it actually sits on the wall, like right there under my clock. So I get to see it every day, and I get to look at it and think about it. But yeah, and I got to support a local artist. So this is a super gift, and it would cost about what a bottle did. So it it's those kind of things that I wanted to put this list together to see. So I want to hear from you all. Do you all have any particular types of whiskey artwork in your bars or in your office? I've seen like my buddy Mike has a barrel head that is all signed or inscribed Mike's bar, Mike's whiskey room, I think is what it says. So that type of thing. Mark JG, as you know, is responsible for the artwork at behind on the wall at Aquavitae's channel. So he had that commissioned for Roy, and I just love the idea that somebody's hands came together, made that kind of artistic interpretation of this stuff we really, really like, you know? I have to have another sip. Mm. I got a couple Christmassy things working tonight. Let's see who else is Dan's. Um, so there's such a great conversation here. I feel like I need to stop and listen. It's like a lot of whiskey in that glass in that artwork. Yeah, that is it's for Scotch for dummy fans. What kind of pour is this? This is a Sean pour. It's above the tulip. You know, that's a lot of whiskey. Um, but yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. Um, so Tasty says I have a couple of art prints from my favorite Irish whiskey bottles from Irish artists. That's cool. So just renderings of your favorite types of Irish whiskey, and I love how that they're actually from an Irish artist. That's really pretty cool. Um, and you can use the redbreast. A redbreast bird feeder makes a nice gift. You can also be a candle lantern. Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, I like the idea of putting that kind of artwork within your space. My bar has a couple of other pieces of art and signs. I found a couple of signs. I have there's one I picked up that says "Give the fiddler a dram," which I thought was kind of cute. And just different things like that. I think it's really pretty neat. So that's artwork's one category. So you got to see I have like 3 or 4 things I show per category. The next category is barware, and that one's kind of obvious, right? You know, oh, they like whiskey. Let's get them glasses. Well, a couple weeks ago we talked all about the glasses, right? But yeah, your tulip glass, I think for drinking neat, that's where you want to go. But there's other things you can do within the bar. And here are a couple. This one I did not have in the video, but I want to share with you. Um, and this is my water pitcher. Let's see if there we go. And if you can tell, it's etched glass. And to me, when I saw it, I was like, is that 2-row barley? How geeky am I? Um, and then I have, just your ordinary drugstore water dropper. But I love this. It's old. It's very old. And it's heavy on the base, so I don't have to worry about knocking it over. And I love how it has this tiny little spout where I can actually pour if I don't want to use the dropper. But that's a really great example of barware that isn't an actual drinking vessel. I love that. And then this is in the video, and this is one of my favorite things. As I talk about in the video, um, I like the idea of a flask is awesome. But I don't care for metal flasks. And with sample bottles, it's kind of easy to kind of tote some of those around. Um, Guys may have to like stuff them in their pockets or whatever, but let me tell you the popularity of uh, purse whiskey. If you take in a purse, my Christmas party that I went to with my company, I had 3 bottles of purse whiskey in that cute little bag, and it was wonderful because it was easy to take those sample bottles. But if I wanted to take a good bit somewhere, having a flask is nice. And this particular one is Rag Proper. And way back in the day, I was part of their Kickstarter program, and I thought a glass flask. I mean, how cool is that? You can kind of see, and this is all glass, and it has this wrapper that's silicone. There's another one that's wrapped in leather, and I love it because there's a couple different caps, and one's metal and one's plastic with the cork lining in both. And you can kind of sneak this in, I'm saying it's been a couple places where I had walked their metal detector. Just saying. Because where I was going, a concert, had really bad whiskey. So I had the whiskey I wanted. I love that you can actually see the level of the whiskey in the flask. And they're not cheap. I will say that. But I think you get what you pay for. And these really are nice. I have dropped this more times than I can think, and it's fun. So Rag Popper is another one that I really enjoy, and it's a good product. It really is. Let me go back to I want to see what other folks were talking about on the prints. And oh, you have a bangle bracelet that's actually a flask. I've seen that. It's kind of like a big chunky one, and it's got like this little ornamental knob on it, and then you can just kind of, yeah, I've seen that. So down here in Louisiana, we're like professionals, especially those of us who went to LSU. Um, so Jennifer says she's got some beautiful hand blown glass droppers as a gift one year. Yes, you did. I saw those, and it was very interesting. One has Nessie on top of it. The other are the Kelpie sculptures. So if you don't know what the Kelpie sculptures are, I can't talk tonight. Kelpie is the marine sea horse, mystic horse, uh, outside Sterling. Is it Sterling? It's in Perth. They have the two Kelpie sculptures that are probably like 4 or 5 stories tall. They're absolutely gorgeous, and especially lit up at night. And those are beautiful. But those hand blown glass, beautiful water droppers. That's a spectacular gift. Yeah. Checking Amazon right now. Well, funny thing about that Amazon is so in the list of the video that comes out tomorrow, I try to do all the shopping for you. So I went through and I found if it's on Amazon, and I tried my best for things that people made to have a link straight to the person. So one of the art items is someone on Etsy, and it goes straight to her site on Etsy. Other items like Glencairn glasses, those are on Amazon, and so I have an affiliate link on that website, an affiliate link in the description of the video that will take you straight there to that item. Affiliate link just means I'll make a little bit of money on that purchase, but it doesn't cost any more than if you just went out, searched Glencairn, and bought a plain Glencairn glass. All it does is help support the channel. So that's a really great way of gifting to your favorite YouTube channels, is if they do have an affiliate link or other things, helping them out that way is always good. But yeah, funny thing about that, you kind of inspired me. Spoiler alert there, Jennifer, on one of those items for sure. They're in Falkirk. Thank you. I went through there. I actually went there. I had a selfie with the Kelpies. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, they're in Falkirk. But I think Falkirk is still in Perth, correct? I think that's right. Hey Martin, good to see you. Glad you're here, friend. We are shopping, and we're hoping Papa Noel will bequeath some fun stuff for us this Christmas time. Or it doesn't have to necessarily be Christmas. It could be for your birthday. It could be for a special, anniversary, or a celebration of a new job, or getting through school, or a new baby. It could be whatever you need to celebrate. It doesn't have to be for Christmas or the holidays. So, Martin, you'll have to tell me what you're having tonight. I want to see Michael's in. Hey, my brother and I exchanged Scotch for Christmas, except last year he never got it to me, and I got him two. This year he's getting teachers, and he needs to get me two. Okay, goodness, brotherly love there for sure. But that's great. Yeah, Mike knew too. It was it was Falkirk. Yeah, because I can see it. It had the canal there, and as the lock and everything. Yeah, it's had really good hot chocolate there. It was cold that time I went. So he's popped a new bottle of the 2013 Pricklotti Isla Barley. Island of 13. Ooh. Yeah, Jennifer and I have a sweet spot for that. Anything Isla Barley, pretty much. Mm. Yeah, so that's a couple of items for barware. Um, and then the next category is clothing and channel swag. Now, say that again because it's a great way to be able to support your channel, support content that you like on a channel. The number of channel shirts I I have when we went to Isla, I remember Jennifer and I were out in the peat bog across from the airport in Isla, in kind of like between Port Ellen and Bowmore, and we're digging peat, and she shot a picture of me holding this chunk of peat, and one of our classmates' wife saw the picture, and I had a Scotch for Dummies shirt on with another jacket shirt over it, so you can read it completely. And she asked her husband, ask her if her shirt says Scotch for mommies. I was like, no, it's dummies. But I love being able to do that. I love being able to share that. So just a reminder on that. We have 3 different designs for Scotch on the Bayou shirts and swag. There's some things like coffee cups and bags and that kind of stuff there too. But we have the slongy y'all because you know we're Southern, and we're so Southern and so nice. We want to say hello, and we include everyone because y'all means all. I mean all. The Scotch on the Bayou shirts, and then the new Camp Dram shirts, which are really pretty cool with the alligator. Because I'm really digging my brother's artwork. I just absolutely adore it. So again, the links will be to all of this in the video tomorrow for sure, and I'll put some in this once we're done tonight. But yeah, the channel swag's a lot of fun. You have different ones. I have a shirt from Roy that has the wheelie bin on it. And I've been asked, why do you have a wheelie bin? It's a wheelie bin in Scotland. It's a recycle bin over here in the States. But it's just the idea that, you know, I'm walking around with a recycle receptacle on my shirt. And those who know. And if they don't, then I'm going to tell them, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, what is some of your favorite channel swag that y'all got? I know Mark JG has my swag. He's got everybody's swag, that's for sure. Mm. Yeah, like Craig at Glen Alec, he was so good. Mm. There's another item for channel swag. Excuse me. Woof. And that's the challenge coins. And I know Martin just got his, and some people collect a certain number. And if you don't know what a challenge coin is, it's actually a derivative from the military and law enforcement. I think they're the ones that basically started it, but it's kind of big in the whiskey community too. And I'll show you a little bit of my collection. But this is my Scotch on the Bayou coin, and yeah, so and then the Slanja y'all. So we'll do a series. We'll do another one. My brother's already brainstorming about what he wants to draw for the back of the coin. But like here's Scotch test dummies that they've had their coins. I think they were pretty much the ones that started the whiskey coin world. Here's here's Roy's aquavitae. And again, it's a great way to be able to support the channel and also have something to put over your glasses. So, like, if you pour 2 or 3 and you wanna kinda give them some air, but not all the vapors take out, then it's good to let the whiskey relax in the glass, but have a lid on it, to keep it kinda, you know, tight in there so you can, get the best aroma, experience off of it. And then Roy even has, these lucite ones, these clear ones for his sniper coin. So if you win and is it a space side, you get these, which are really pretty cool. I love that kind of stuff. Really fun. Not everybody's. You don't have everybody's? I thought you had most everybody's. Oh, he needs to restock his stoppers. I was on the phone with him today. I should have told him that. That's awesome. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Let's see. I'm moving on to dram number 2. This is also this is a new bottle because that first bottle went poof. I'm anxious to see off a straight new bottle if I still get the flavor tasting notes that I have before on this. To me, the first time I had this one, oh wait, hold it though, my bud. Happy Glen Scotia to you too, buddy. That might give you a hint. I was talking about you a while ago. It was all good, I promise. But yeah, so and I told him about Nancy being on your show tomorrow. I'm so stoked about that. I really am. But no, so that fourth dram, y'all please check out that video because it was so much fun. The fourth dram, the plants aligned, and Jason and I nailed that dram. We knew exactly what it was. I think he almost knew what bottling it was. But yeah, so we're talking about gift giving, and I did mention that when you win, yeah. Anyway, Jason, is it Thursday or Friday that the final? Remind me. I thought it was Thursday, but I don't want to tell people the wrong thing. So, they need to tune into that because that's going to be crazy, especially 2 bourbon guys drinking the Scotch. What's wrong with that picture? Nothing. It's all about whiskey. It is. So this dram that I just poured was the second distillery I went to in my first trip over to Scotland. And I was like, wonder what Lafroig is all about. Because I didn't know nothing. This has always tasted to me like, oh, it's Friday, folks. SMWS America channel, check that out. Hit the notification so you'll get a buzz when it's about to come on. But this bottle of Lafroig, the first time I had it, it tasted very much like a Christmassy kind of thing. It tasted like stewed cherries in a bowl with a little bit of whipping cream, and then the charred, scorched outer shell of a marshmallow that had been flambéed in a campfire. Think about that when you run out of patience on like browning your marshmallow. And it's like, forget this, you just stick it in there and it does that, and you're blowing the marshmallow out and you get that bubbled up black crusty outer shell. That to me with stewed cherries is Lafroig lore. I absolutely love this bottle. Love it. Hey Mo, good to see you. Thanks for being in here. Yay, and all the chat folk. Yep, that's for sure. Yeah, so my Mark is reminding what would you like to give your YouTube friends? Likes, subscriptions. Subscribe and likes, because the algorithm lives and dies by that stuff. And that'd be very sweet. I really appreciate it. Yeah, but Jason, that was so much fun. It really, really was. And he has such a good palate, period. But you know, and how he drank all of that, all those high proof blends the night before on his show, and then Thursday night just knocked it out of the park. Um, it was amazing. But this, oh my gosh, this lure just, mm, mm, mm. So the fourth category, oh man, mm, it's like that. I mean, the peat on this is not barbecue peat or barbecue pit. I mean, it is a campfire smoke, more from me in line of like a Talisker tin campfire. And the sweetness is just, it's a light cherry, just stewed with a little bit of brown sugar in it. Just lovely. 48%. Um, and it's not, I mean, it's got a good color on it. It's not super dark, but oh, it's very tasty. So yeah, the fourth, oh, hey, Glock Juice. Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. And thanks for watching the competition. It was a lot of fun. I would do it again in heartbeat. Uh, but yeah, so vintage items is the next category. And it helps when your mother has an antique store. When she's, I mean, we all grew up junking, and actually, Christmas wise, we give ourselves in our family one gift needs to be from a garage sale, a thrift store, or an antique place. It needs to be like a secondhand item. And sometimes those are the very best things you've ever seen. So it's really a lot of fun. And so I wanted to share a couple of the vintage items that one of which, well, actually, both of these are in the video. And mom found this one. And I mean, I really like decanters. I like to look at decanters. I don't use decanters very often. I've got a couple of crystal ones that Monkey Shoulders is usually in one and Naked Malt's usually in the other. And so if I want to dram without thinking, I can just pour that. If I want to make a cocktail out of it, I can just pour it. But I don't use them a whole lot. Also, because our temperature down here is usually quite warm. And sometimes I have found that the whiskey would actually condensate because of our temperature differences. So I like to look at the decanters, and old decanters are fun. And I'm telling you, you can go out on eBay and find some things. You might set yourself a limit. Because if you get your heart set on one, you'll probably start bidding. But I absolutely adore this little tiny French maid. Let me see if I can get her to focus. And it's a little Scotch, if you can see. Come on, camera. There we go. Come on. Anyway, she's got her little Scotty dog and her little tray. And if you look, her bun is the stopper. And she's chalkware and lusterware. So that tells me she was probably made in Japan, actually. But she's just so adorable. And mom found her, and so I got this for Christmas one year, which I adore. And then another cool thing that I actually found, I found this on eBay way back in the day. So New Orleans, we talked about last week too, on the traditions in Louisiana for Christmas. Everybody goes to the fancy hotels in New Orleans and take family photos and just kind of do that. My best friend was there this past Sunday with her brood and taking pictures and documenting it for yet one more year. But one of my favorites is the Hotel Roosevelt in New Orleans, and that's where the Sazerac bar is. That's where the Sazerac, it's where actually the Ramos Gin Fizz began, was in that bar in New Orleans. But this is a pre-pour or a setup bottle, and it says the Roosevelt Hotel, New Orleans, Scotch. So they would have these lined up. And if you can see all the marks around the edge, like right around there, that's because they just had them all piled next to each other, and they over the years, they just rubbed up against one another. But they would pre-pour whiskey. Some say whiskey, some say Scotch, some say gin. But they would pre-pour these, have them on the back bar, and then when it was time and things were hopping, they would just pour and serve, pour and serve. And this is one of my favorite little things. And I have it in my bar. And every time I look at it, I smile and I'm all happy about it, you know? So tell me, do y'all have any kind of vintage things that you found? Any kind of, advertising where is a lot like beer signs and there's a really great little restaurant down at the camp called Carbo's. We go there all the time when we're down at the camp. And they have this 1970s wild turkey press board advertisement thing hanging on the wall. I mean, it looks like it's about to fall off the wall. Like, why bother? But it's really cool. I think about it all the time about how cool, this is. It's hanging on this wall for however long. Oh goodness. Let me see who else is in here. I think I spy. Hey friend. Hey Shayla. It's great to see you here. Thanks for being here. We're virtually shopping, coming up with all kinds of good things. All kinds of good things. So we're doing a sneak peek for the gift guide video that comes out tomorrow. So I wanted to kind of give you all the down low before it hits tomorrow. And so that was vintage items. The next, and tell me what you're drinking, Shayla. I need you to know what you're drinking. I'm on my second pour, and it just gets better, like with every sip. And it needs a little air, but the Lefroy Lore, one of my favorites. So everybody's heard of a flavor wheel, right? It's really pretty Technicolor, little helper guide to kind of prompt you on how to come up with tasty notes or what you might be smelling and things like that. I saw this on Instagram a couple of years ago, and I ended up getting one of them. And this is in the guide for tomorrow, and it is called Charlie's Tray. And this is absolutely beautiful. I'm trying to get not so much. Oh, look, there I am. It's highly reflective, but it is a beautiful tray that has basically the tasty notes. I got to put my glasses on because it's too dark in here for me to read. The whiskey tray is based on a collaborative work by Charles and Shayla McLean. The text on the tray is derived from common descriptors used by Charles over the past 30 years. So, Charlie McLean, we all know, I mean, whiskey writer. I think I've got about 4 of his books. He's just an absolute delight. And a lot of his descriptors that he's come up with are on this tray, and things like whiskey colors. So you can say, well, is it amber? Well, what type of, what like different colors, and being able to name things that are a certain color to get you there. The same thing, it even works through how to do a tasting order. It talks about what you get on your nose. The mouthfeel is, again, I got to use these. Sorry. The mouthfeel, is it warming? Is it cooling? Coating, spicy, astringent? The primary taste of sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami, being able to kind of figure out those things. And then you get to the point where you're saying, it's kind of, it's, as I hit that again, it's kind of fruity. Well, okay. Is it fresh fruit, citrus fruit, dried fruit, or tinned fruit, or canned, for those of us in the States? And then you work your way through it. Well, it's fresh fruit. Okay. Is it apple? Is it melon and fig or cherry? So it helps give you those prompts to say, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's one of my favorite things to play with and just say, what am I getting? What? Because sometimes you need somebody to say, a tasting note and you go, yeah, that's it. Because you can't really think of it on your own. But this one I love. Is it winey? Is it nutty, oily, viscous? So I mean, it's just it's a really great prompt. Um, it's from overseas. It's from Denmark, and I'll have that link in the video tomorrow. It didn't take any time for it to get over here, and it's a great gift, and it's sold by the maker, which I love, absolutely love. So Martin says, vintage wise, he has little measuring glasses from an old pharmacy and use them as a jigger. That's really cool. That's very cool. Oh man. I'll drink. So Shayla says, I'll drink whatever you pick, nothing in the glass yet. Well, you are kind of a classic laddie girl too, you know? So I'm sure you've got some of that around. And it's such a good dram and a good way to start the night off for sure. Right? So the tray is in education and resources in the education category for tomorrow. And then the final category is let me put my painting back over here. Is books. And I think I have like 5 books that I show. But this is the one I want to talk about in I think lots of folks in this chat probably have this book. And it's this or one of the Malt Whiskey yearbooks. And I found this when I was in Scotland, 2019, when Jennifer and I were over there. And John McShane was just raving about it. I'm like, wait, what is that? You know, and opened it up and I was like, what? Because it's every distillery. It's the who, what, where, when on every distillery. And it updates every single year. So yes, all the distilleries are in this year as they were last year, but there are new releases. So they tell you what was released in what year. It gives the capacity, you know, how many million or how many liters of output they have, the capacity down to what type of worm, you know, if they use worm tubs, if it's Oregon pine on the washbacks. I mean, just all these different things, along with any new distilleries that are coming up, information on closed distilleries, who owns what mega company owns what distillery, on and on. And then they have articles where they showcase people in the industry or processes or trends that are happening. And it's intense. It's probably not for the casual, you know, cocktail whiskey person or, you know, someone who's not really geeking into whiskey, into specifically Scotch, because it is malt. It is basically malt. But it is the best book. It's very reasonable, and you can get like back issues on Amazon, but the link I have in tomorrow's video goes straight to the author, and that, so you're buying it straight from him. And yeah, this is one of the best books. So any particular book that y'all like, that you just really love seeing? I have to have some more of this. I have a couple resource books that I use quite often, and, you know, some magazines and stuff, but I'm always looking for a new book, especially from people that have been in there. Michael Jackson was a whiskey writer, and he wrote a lot of malt whiskey books. Hang on a second. Let me get that one. And these DK books from British books, they're old. This thing probably, let's see, what year is this one? Was the 6th revision of it. You know, and it's older, but look, I have it tagged with all kinds of things because it doesn't matter how old this book is. It's a chronicle in figuring out what things were being done when, you know. And it's really cool to be able to do. I mean, this is This is Deanston, and it's the old label, so that kind of tells you how old it is. It does have Kilhoman in there, so it's not that old. One moment. Let me find a date. This is 2010. Yeah. So it's a 12-year-old book, but it's still relevant. Some good stuff. So yeah, you have the newer version. Yeah. So after he passed away, unexpectedly, he other folks are picking up his work and continuing that, which I love doing that. Yes, Michael Jackson's books are probably real thrillers. He always used to laugh, evidently, about having the same name as the pop star, for sure. So Jennifer says that you have Charlie McLean's Charlie McLean's Wikipedia. That one is a really good one. Oh, Miscellany of Whiskey is one I love. I haven't heard of that one. See, this is why I love this, because we get to share and find out new stuff. Absolutely love it. Go ahead, Mike. Open that bottle. I want to know what you think about that. Neck pour and all. I don't care. That was my first dram tonight. I want to know what you think about that. So, okay. So this is the one I'm hoping Santa brings me for Christmas. A Sense of Place by Dave Broom. I love everything he writes. He's such a good writer. And he's done some really cool things with Alistair Day up at Isle of Rasse Distillery, and just Dave Broom. I would love to sit and have a dram with that guy. He's groovy and very interesting looking, from the interviews I've seen, and that would be really cool. So thinking about, these are items that aren't whiskey itself, right? So they're things that a whiskey person would like and, maybe appreciate. But bottles are kind of one of those things. It's like, well, I know we've all been asked, I need to buy a bottle for so and so, and that's really hard to do unless you know the person. But I think there's some safe ones out there, depending on who the person is and how far, if you know kind of where they are in their whiskey journey. And I also like to get, without really naming bottles tonight, just the types of things. Like maybe find a bottle that you know that they like, but a different type of maturation. So say they like a Glendronach, find their Portwood is different than the sherry one. So finding something complementary like that, I think, is a really great idea. And that type of thing. So Martin's got another book, because we can never have too many books. You should say books or glasses, always. Lou Bryson's book is good too. Learned a little bit, so much from that little book. Oh, I need to find that one out. Hey, Daniel, good to see you. Thanks for coming, friend. So the Miscellany is of whiskey is also Charlie McLean. Okay. And another good one is Whiskey by Aeneas MacDonald. Now, see, I knew about Aeneas's book, but I need to get that one, because I think they were talking about that either on Bar Flats. I saw it online before. But yeah, I need to look at doing that one for sure. And I think there are some things out there in the whiskey realm that may not fit. I don't want to say there are things that you shouldn't buy, but I think there are some gimmicky things, and that maybe you want to stay away from. I saw something. I was in World Market one day, and it was this little package with like a corkscrew piece of wood, and it said, "Put this in your whiskey, and it'll mature it faster." I'm like, what? I'd stay away from kind of the gimmicky stuff and just kind of go with the tried and true, for sure. So beyond that book, A Sense of Place, the day broom. I think that's kind of on my list. I know that Santa has secured a few bottles for Christmas, so I'm really stoked about those. Maybe we could do a little show and tell after the first of the year about that. But tell me what you're kind of jonesing for the holidays as far as a gift or something that you're excited about giving somebody who's not on the chat, that so they're not going to know. But what's one of your favorite things to give to a whiskey person? So Martin says, if you know someone loves particular whiskey, you try to find that store pick or a single barrel, single batch, etc. of that. That's a great idea. So, oh man, yeah, and I think that's probably a little easier to do, um, depending on where you live. But also, I think it's a little easier to do with some of the bourbons than maybe some of the scotches. Although like Specs in Houston is beautiful. I think is it Impex is another store I think on the West Coast that does a lot of store picks. Um, there's a store over in Ocean Springs, Mississippi called Maziano's, who's they're known for their store picks on bourbons, rye, and any other kind of whiskey. Really, I think they have even done some Scotch picks because the guy's palate is amazing. And I think Jason knows him for sure. So Andrew says the Malt Whiskey File by John Lamont and Robin Tusek. And Ian Buxton's 101 Whiskeys. Great reference shopping. That's nice to know. I'm gonna go back through the chat and I'm gonna put all these down and I'll try to get those in the comment section of the video tomorrow for folks. I would love to do that. Jennifer says she has a tradition of giving her dad an SMWS bottle. Oh, that's really nice. That's super because then you get to share it too. That's very neat. Yeah, Santa is a super guy. Santa had some helpers. Santa ought to be real happy he had some helpers. But yeah, so Santa needs to find a bottle of Hazelburn. I've been jonesing for a bottle and can't find one. There's a couple, maybe even around here. Um, and it's everything from straight bourbon finish to like sherry finish so dark you can't even see through it. Almost looks like an Edderdower. They're so dark. But yeah, Hazelburn, that's a really nice one. Oak and Eden have a line of bourbon with spire woods. Okay, in the bottle. Yeah, I did kind of think that it's gimmicky, but it makes you think too, like it's chemistry. There's something happening and going on into that bottle. Yeah, so Jennifer needs to school me on this. So they have the Impact X bottles. I don't even know what that is, but I've just seen it around. So they're the distributor. Okay. And also some independent bottlings. Okay, that makes sense. We don't get a whole lot of that down here. We just do not. Zumi say cash for the best whiskey gift. Please contribute to my bottle that I want to go pick out. Is that what you're telling me, Daniel? Let me handle that for you. And Mo wants to adopt Jennifer. Well, let me tell you that would be a smart thing to do because she's brilliant when it comes to spirits and she can cook like mad and she's one of my favorite people. Specs is good for store picks. Those Kill Home and store picks are money. Yeah. Those are so good. Those are the ones I usually get. I've gotten a Fino. I've gotten a Marcel. Was it wasn't Sauternes. It was it might have been a Manzanilla. I can't remember. But I've gotten a couple of different ones from them for sure. And that was the only place I could find Glenallachie's for the longest too. Small bottle sample packs are a great gift. That is a great gift. I talked in a show earlier about giving whiskey, and I mentioned giving my dad's cardiologist a bottle of single barrel sherry Balvenie 15 year. And he was very happy about it. Well, dad has checkup on Thursday. So they stopped by the house yesterday, and I was like, "You can see Dr. Fontenot Thursday, right?" And dad's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to go see him." I'm like, "Hang on." I poured him a Tamdu cast strength batch one sample bottle. I said, "Go give this to the good doctor and tell him to keep up the good work." And he'll laugh about it, and he'll enjoy dram, and he'll take good care of my daddy. So it's all good. It's all good. Um, Buying some oak spires to help with a whiskey you don't enjoy would be cool, but a bottle with it in it, it's a little overcooked. It might do that, especially considering temperature for sure. You know, and I've seen this week when I was out Christmas shopping this past weekend, I saw one of those small barrels that you can buy and fill your own. And and I think that would be a pretty cool experiment on something that just was not your wheelhouse. No harm, no foul. Just put it in there, forget about it for a little while, and then go tap into it and taste it and see how things come out, if it had any effect. Almost, it would be cool. Like the scientific person in my brain is going, keep out a sample bottle of what you put in, and that way you could do a before and after test. How fun is that? I think that was on clearance too at Tuesday morning. Go check that out. Hey, Katie. Katie, also known as Santa's helper. Good to see you. Hope you and Ethan are doing well. Um, but yeah, we've been talking about gift giving and non-whiskey gifts for the whiskey person. So we've gotten. I'm excited about tomorrow's video. It's finally done. There's a lot of B-roll in it, a lot of pictures, and again, it's a one-stop shop loaded with links in the description on just going and trying to grab it real quick. Some of these items may not arrive by Christmas because Leanne's been busy. Work today kicked my butt. But we're here and we're having drams and we're having fun. But yeah, and it's a good way to do it, but it's not the end all be all list. It's just a good way of saying these are some things to think about: artwork and barware, clothing and channel swag. Jennifer Jennifer has worn the shirt. It looks like NASA, but it says Isla, and she's worn it to the Bastards Ball last couple of years. And do you not get accosted over that shirt? I mean, everybody loves that shirt. Do you know I found the link for that shirt? And it'll be in there tomorrow. It looks so cool, and that kind of stuff. It's fun, right? But also those vintage items. Part of that is like finding an old dusty, where you're going into this, old liquor store and you're like, what might be on the back, shelf that nobody's looked at, that they don't know what they have. That just, it's the thrill of the hunt, right? And going to thrift store, I have found Glencairn glasses for 50 cents at thrift stores. Okay. So you can, if you're willing to go out and hunt, you can find some really, really fun, cool stuff. So vintage is always fun. That's a lot of fun. And then you never want to stop learning. So there's all kinds of educational things and ways, educational gifts to give people. And then the books are endless. Just as soon as you think you've got them all, there's going to be some other one. And that's what's so beautiful about it all. So Andrew's saying, for what he's heard on about small barrels suffer from extreme angel's envy, and then very oaky very quickly. Yeah, I don't imagine those are really good. That's real good wood. I mean, I don't even know that it would be food safe. I think it might be cute to have on a shelf to look cute next to your whiskey books. I think that's what that would look like, an ornament or something, some kind of decorative item. But yeah, I don't know about that. I know a few people have had to soak them to where they would swell up enough to kind of seal itself because they were just leaking like a sieve. So I don't know if that was good. So Sheila says that yeah, you could season it with some sherry to calm that down. That's a really good idea too. Um, there's some distilleries that I feel like that's all they do, and they call their whiskey sherry matured. Mm. But well, guys, I really do appreciate everybody being here. It's a busy, busy time of year, and but it's been really great. I've enjoyed. Thank God we got the internet situation taken care of, and we got you know a good stream going now. We're consistent. Um, I'm really excited about the new year. Jennifer and I are meeting in January in Victoria, British Columbia for the Victoria Whiskey Festival. And I'm super stoked about that and what that's going to mean for the channel for the next year. Got some very big plans. Andrew Butler, as y'all have seen in here, gifted a sample, a blind pack. And there just happens to be somebody from across the pond who has one as well. So next week or so, I'll be making an announcement about when we're going to do a joint show together. It's going to be a Sunday afternoon to accommodate his time bracket. So he's not trying to drink whiskey at 2 a.m. like thankfully I'm sure Andrew's doing right now. But we've got some really cool things happening, so very thankful again for the experience I had with Jason on the Malt Madness on SMWS America. That was a blast. Go watch that. Be sure to check Jason out again tomorrow with Nancy Fraley because the woman is amazing and knows her stuff like mad. And I just and Andrew's drinking coffee at 3 a.m. God love you, friend. Thank you so much for wanting to sit up with all of us. I really do appreciate it. But I hope you all have a wonderful week and just take a moment during this crazy busy time um, to enjoy a dram for yourself, to find some quiet and find some peace, and know that you're very much appreciated. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting my channel and giving me a platform to be able to talk about this and to visit with you on Tuesday nights. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a great week. And until next week, Slanju, y'all.